Dave Miller, aka David Michael Miller. And we do use the three names to somehow distinguish from the millions of Dave Millers that will inevitably be on my credit score. Yeah, man, I mean, slide for me is just such a beautiful thing because I was raised listening to gospel music. I grew up in the church. My grandpa was a Pentecostal preacher, my one grandpa. And actually my other grandpa was a man who worked with his hands completely. And I guess I kind of, now that I'm thinking about it, I dig about slide that it is, you know, so vocal, and it reminds me of gospel singers that just sang from their deepest parts and could move you in the way that they just emoted. And I guess with my other grandpa, I dig that it's just all here. Everything's happening right here. And I even play without picks and stuff because I just like that connection. So I guess I have both my grandpas to thank for their influence on me and slide. Well, I think being raised in the church, you know, you kind of grow up with gospel music and with just the philosophy of Christianity, if I can say the philosophy of Christianity. For me, my gut, my heart was tied to everything. And so right out of the gate, music was my way of just being me and expressing what was happening. So I feel like when I approach slide, it's with this, you know, channeling of what's happening, what's going on inside of me. It's not about telling somebody what they should be, how they should be, who they should be. It's being transparent and letting them know who I am. And so that's what it feels like to me, playing music in general, but especially connecting with slide on a guitar. Yeah, it just feels like the only way to do it is to be real. And I like that real place versus the fake place. We've all been there. Fake does hardly anybody any good. But real, you can't go wrong. You never have to rethink. It's just all there.
Who's that right? John the Revelator, tell me who's that right? John the Revelator, tell me who's that right? John the Revelator wrote the book of the seven sins. And tell me who's that right? John the Revelator, tell me who's that right? John the Revelator, tell me who's that right? John the Revelator wrote the book of the seven seals. You know, God walked out in the cool of the day and called Adam by his name. But he refused to answer, 'cause he was naked and ashamed. Oh, tell me who's that right? John the Revelator, tell me who's that right? John the Revelator, tell me who's that right? John the Revelator wrote the book of the seven seals. Christ came on Easter morning. Mary and Martha went down to see. Said, go tell my disciple to meet me in Galilee. Oh, tell me who's that riding? John the Revelator, tell me who's that riding? John the Revelator, tell me who's that riding? John the Revelator wrote the book of the seven seals. Oh, tell me who's that riding? John the Revelator, tell me who's that riding? John the Revelator, tell me who's that riding? John the Revelator wrote the book of the seven seals. Book of the seven seals. The book of the seven seals. Book of the seven seals.
I fell in love with the blues actually through 90s, well, partially through gospel music, but also partially through 90s grunge. I connected to Smokestack Lightning because of Soundgarden. And that got me digging into some deep stuff. I'll use that word. And man, it just blew me away. So I started writing it, but I didn't feel that this white kid from, the country could could pull off the essence of the blues, because the blues came from such a hardship that I had never experienced, at least my perception of what had been experienced. So I held back. I held back from playing out. I held back from sharing my songs. And actually, it took a few other instances of seeing some really talented cats who maybe weren't that different from me, but were playing the blues in a special way, in a way that moved me, that I got the courage to start putting it out there. And even though it was kind of later in life, because, listen, I started a music career essentially at 43, which is crazy, kids, just crazy. But it was because of getting the confidence from seeing how people just were connecting to their blues. And so I decided to give them some of mine. So I put out a couple records. The first record, actually, I had no intention of releasing it nationally. It was an album called Poison Sipped. And this is where I really connected to Slide, actually, in a really cool way, because I worked with a producer who said, I've got a rhythm section for you to work with that's going to be perfect for your music. It ended up being the rhythm section for the Campbell Brothers. So we went in, tracked 11 songs in one day. It was magic. I mean, I don't know how to describe it other than to say it was magic. Then Carlton Campbell, the drummer, said, do you want my uncles to play on any of these songs? I was like, are you kidding me? That'd be amazing. So we sent him off some tracks. Chuck Campbell gobbled them up and laid down pedal steel. And it just blew my mind. I was not only honored, but the voice of his instrument was just moved me. And then Derek Campbell was kind of ticked because he didn't get a chance to play any of the tunes. So I was only going to have a couple songs, and we ended up putting it on a bunch of the album because it was just right. And we started hanging, and I was watching these guys and watching Derek on that lap steel, and the way he just made it cry, and I mean, it was just killing me. So So we tracked the album, and then we started working together on a series of residency shows leading up to the album release. So I got to hang with these guys and listen to them and just take in the music that was coming out of them. Man, it was, to me, still highlight of playing music, period. So that's kind of how I approach it. I play electric and I play acoustic. This guitar, though, man, when I found her, she's been my baby. I love the way this guitar feels. This is a 1938 Kalamazoo. This was kind of the Gibson family guitar, made in Kalamazoo, made in the same factory as the Gibsons, just not out of as good material and whatnot. But I'm telling you, the wood ages from 1938 in a beautiful way, cheap or not. And I just love the way. She sounds and the way she plays. And a buddy of mine who specialized in old, kind of obscure, turn of the century instruments, kind of knew what would work for me, and he went and found her for me. And man, I haven't dug the fact that she's a little road worn. She's seen better days, which was good for me because I'm not always necessarily nice on my guitar, so I felt like she was already used to it.
Don't think that I'm too tired to be aware of all your games. Don't think I'm out of touch too much, baby, 'cause I ain't afraid now to name some names. Don't think that I don't care at all, 'cause baby, it just ain't true. Don't think that I can take no more, child, of this hell you put me through. Ooh, I've been up for hours, baby. And darling, tell me right where you been all night long, 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 long. While you doing your thing, darling, you're doing me and you're doing me wrong. Don't think that I don't hear the neighbors chit-chatting about your other man. Don't think that I don't see the faces, baby, taking pity upon me again. Don't think for a minute that I'm just with it. Yeah, and I'm cool with it all. Don't think that I will take them down, baby. The bigger they are, the harder they fall. The harder they fall, yeah. Ooh, I've been up for hours, baby. Darling, 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 tell me where you been all night long, long, long. While you doing your thing, darling, you're doing me and you're doing me wrong. high and mighty in all you do. Don't think I think that I'm better, baby. This sure ain't what lovers do. Don't think I wanna be without you, but it's clear you just ain't with me. Don't think I want it over, baby, but I'm over what we used to be. Oh, yeah, I've been up for hours, baby. Ooh, darling, tell me where you've been all night long, long. While you doing your thing, darling, you're doing me and you're doing me wrong. Ooh, I've been up for hours, baby. It's so true. Darling, tell me where you been all night long, long. While you doing your thing, darling, you're doing me in, you're doing me wrong.